Hello everybody, welcome to Edify. This is Mapule and today I'm super excited about the interview. I'm sitting here with Geraldine Khanaga. She's going to be explaining, she's the managing director of Bobcat's Hair Salon. So this is a $1 trillion business industry. So I believe that we're sitting here with a mogul that's going to teach us, and we are willing to learn as much as possible. So stay tuned because she's right here with us. Enjoy the show. Hi, Geraldine.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, and yourself?
I'm also very good.
I am so excited to be here in your hair salon because every time I come in, you give me a warm welcome.
Thank you.
Your hair salon oozes sophistication,
Thank
you know, and finesse.
Thank you.
And that's one thing that we lack in some of the businesses that we go to, you understand? Because I've been in a hair salon and you're sitting and there's a fridge on top of the bar, you know, or the counter.
Yeah,
but we
true that.
come here and this is absolutely beautiful. Let me
Thank you
just
so much.
compliment you on that. So for the people that are at home, do you mind just introducing yourself to us?
My name is Geraldine Khanaga. I'm
Yes.
32 years of age. I'm from a village in Limpopo called Butlokwa. So
Okay.
I'm a real village girl.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, growing up, I've always had a love for cows. You know,
Okay.
I've always been one of those girls. There used to be a lot of boys in my house, and I used to cry to go with them to herd the cows. So
Okay.
I'm like a real village river swimming girl, cow herding, and all of that. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting considering the weave and the
Yeah.
makeup and everything else. And wow, you learn them from the village.
Yes.
And then in terms of your family, tell us about your
My parents live in Johannesburg, so I did, after a couple of years, move to Joburg. I grew up in a township called Vosloorus in Joburg.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but then I just spent a few years and I went back home to finish my high school. So I could say that I grew up partly in Limpopo and partly in Johannesburg.
in Johannesburg.
Yes.
But in terms of your training, because you know that's one thing that I've seen with your business, that I've seen some customer service over there. So I'm just wondering, I'm very curious about
Funny
what you've
enough,
done.
Training is not even hair related.
Whoa.
I studied at University of Cape Town. I
Okay.
did media, I did film.
Okay.
Because I've always wanted to be a filmmaker.
That's interesting.
So I studied for 7 years. I did my majors and I did my honors, and then I decided later on to do another honors in
Okay.
marketing.
Right.
I think that's where the passion for business became.
That's where the
But
Facebook
that's
feeds
where
come in,
everything,
the
yeah.
experience, because you guys found me on
Yeah.
Facebook and I'm like, how did they get my contact
True.
details and everything? So
But with regards to the customer service, I've always been a waitress. From even when I was in high school, when I was doing matric, I used to waitress, and when I was studying all my life, I've always been a waitress. So I've always known how to take care of customers and how to deal with customer complaints.
That's
Because
really
being a
inspirational.
waitress is like a very challenging. You need to be patient. You need to understand what the customer wants.
emotional intelligence,
Yes, and
so
you
that
need
you don't freak out and throw a plate because
True
you're
that.
irritated.
And you always need to go to the next level as if nothing ever happened. You know, if anything upsets you, I mean, being a waitress, I think more than anything teaches you how to calm yourself and how to carry on with the day without taking any of the stress that you might have experienced earlier on before. So I think I learned that from the hospitality side of things,
Wow,
from
that's
being a
very
waitress.
interesting. And then I always come into the hair salon and there's some gospel music happening in this place. So do you mind just telling us briefly about that?
My maternal grandmother was a hardcore Christian, I
Okay.
think. But more than that, she used to go to so many churches. She never used to go to one church. So
Okay.
I got a lot of experience.
So she was church hopping.
She was church hopping all the time. So
Yeah.
I've literally been a member of every single church in South Africa. Thanks to her.
Okay, so that's where that comes
but
from.
spiritually, I think you need to have a spiritual foundation as a woman because it grounds you. And also you have to have a place of refuge where you can go. You know what I mean? I think being a Christian gives you a lot of strength in which other people don't have because you've got God on your side.
And once you do sales, because I've also done the
Yes.
sales background, you know, there are those days where it goes up
Yeah,
and it goes down.
And you need to be able to believe that God will see you through. So I think being a Christian is very important. And it's just, I can't imagine life without being a Christian because I've always been.
And I think the other thing with being a Christian and listening to that music, it creates creates a vibe.
Yes, and
in your hair salon.
And people, when they come to a hair salon, it's like they want therapy.
Yeah.
So when they walk in, they get that therapy from us, and also for us as individuals working together, because we don't have a moment to pray each morning. I think the gospel also assists, because we all spirituals. I mean, they go to their different churches, but us playing one gospel connects us together.
No, that's very interesting, and we thank God for you. It's good to see a Christian that's upright and not a church mouse making their paper. All of that, because that's very important and motivational for everybody that's just starting their business, because you're a good example.
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate you. That
Thank
smile
you.
means a lot to us.
Thank you.
I always go into your hair salon and I get there and I'm like, Geraldine, I want to do this hairstyle, but who's gonna do it? And you always give me the best advice.
I think with the hair salon, you have to be hands-on. You have to know your people. You have to know their strength. You have to be able to motivate them and ask them to stick to what they know best. I think in a hair salon, I mean, what makes us win is that we are not jack of all trades. We've got people that do certain things that they're really good at. So obviously when you walk in and you tell me what you want to do, I automatically know who to take you to, because I know they will deliver the type of service that I expect from them. Yes.
Right. And then the other thing that I wanted to ask, because I listened to Robin Kiyosaki, right? And then in terms of training regarding business, because he always advises that there's the self-employed and then there's the business owner as well type. Do you have a system in place? Because what happens if Geraldine does not wake up tomorrow morning?
Okay, I think with my stylist, I've kind of like given them their own small businesses to run within the company, because we sell wigs. They have an amount of wigs that they know they have to sell. So whether I'm there or not, each individual knows that they have to sell their wigs. So they don't necessarily need me to be at work. They can function without me. The only major thing, I think another client once walked in and said, Geraldine, you're like a traffic cop, you're directing, I think I'm just the organization, because I'm very organized. I know.
And you're always wearing the brand, honey.
I think if you have to love your brand, if you don't love it, how do you expect other people to love it?
Exactly.
And you have to live it. You have to walk everywhere with it. You have to be proud of it in order for it to really, really, be a success. People that love their brands and live their brands succeed.
And speaking about love, your husband, so you run this hair salon with your husband?
We are partners in everything.
Partners,
I think as in a marriage, it's easier to share everything, because that way you know exactly where your husband is.
But how does that work? Because with some relationships, it becomes very challenging in terms of keeping the balance with work, family, children, because I know you've got two beautiful, a boy and a girl.
I think because we work together, we are able to say, okay, on a Monday you go home and you do the homework with the kids. On Tuesday you go and do this, because we work together. Imagine if he was working in another company, then we would never be able to reach a balance. And also because it's my husband, I can say to him, I'm tired, I want to go home, can you take over?
You'll never get that with an employer.
You never get that, but if you are with your husband, they know exactly how you feel and they know the kind of effort you put. They'll completely understand.
And you put your all into it, and when you get home,
you have to.
So I just wanted to find out, when did this hair salon start?
Bobcat started 3 years ago.
Oh,
yes,
it's growing
3 years ago. Yeah, it has grown significantly quicker than I expected it to.
Is it?
I think I had given myself the 5-year plan, but I think it kind of happened a little bit quicker. I don't know, I think it's just God's grace, I think.
And Geraldine, sorry to intervene, I just wanted to ask, training, man, where did you get your training? Do you have coaches? Do you have people that mentor you? Because
I think
this is not just gonna happen by itself. I mean, really.
But I think, to be honest, I think being a waitress is all the training that I needed, because it has taught me so much, but interacting with the clients, I used to ask my clients a lot of questions without telling them that I want to get into business. If I'm serving someone and I can see that in a meeting, and then I ask them, what are you doing? What are your challenges? What are the opportunities available in your industry? So I've learned a lot from the people that I've served as a waitress, because a lot of the things, you can't read them in textbook. It's through interaction. So I could say through my interactions with clients, that's how I was able to, get knowledge that I have, but also I've got an honors in brand management, so that is like the
works,
kit
obviously.
you need, because you know, if you know brand management, you can do your own brand and grow it.
You don't need to pay somebody a
You don't
huge
need-
amount of money. You do that yourself.
But even if you do get employees, but you need to have an idea of what your employees are doing so that you can also assist them and give them direction on what to do. You can't just expect people to do what you want them to do without knowing what they are doing. So it's important that you learn every aspect of your business. You know, I've also learned financial management because I need to know the financial side of the business.
You have to.
So-
and then in terms of just your partnership with your husband, the thing that I'm intrigued about is whose vision was this?
Mine.
Okay, this was your vision.
This was my vision.
Okay, so you always wanted to do this.
My husband and I started a business together, but it was a photography business and a film business.
Okay.
So we started it together, Geraldine and his photography. So I think because we started working together on that business, we kind of like, and he then decided, okay, let's try other industries, because obviously the business for photography is not doing so well. He then ventured into the restaurant, and I ventured into the salons.
Okay.
So he's got his restaurant that he's running, although we run it together, and I'm on the salon side of things.
Instinct, baby, because this is the right time for hair and makeup and
completely
looking like a Kim
coincidence.
Kardashian. I mean, really.
Yeah.
If you walk down the street, everybody has this image, and you know. So I feel like this is the right time for this industry.
But also I think with us, what makes us work is that we are into trends. We follow what is happening internationally.
serious? Okay.
I think I look into what a lot of Americans are doing and the trends that they're doing, and I bring them to South Africa, especially with the hairstyles. You know, I try and make sure that my hairstyles are very trendy and they're relevant.
But are we ever going to go back to our natural hair? Geraldine,
I
come
doubt
on.
it.
There's no
I
revolution
think
with hair.
natural hair is demanding in terms of time, but women nowadays, they just want to wake up and
doesn't
grab a
work.
wig. You know, I think for the sake of time, I could say that the way women have become so busy, it's not easy for them to go and sit in a salon for 5 hours and do braids.
Wow,
They'd
that's
rather just grab the wig braid.
I did braids for 5 hours. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but not everyone has got a lot of time, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, so in conclusion, I've really enjoyed my time today. I wanted to ask you, in terms of your goals and your targets for this year, is there anything that you want to do before the end of the year?
Definitely, I want my salon to be a national hair salon. I want to compete with other big brands like your Sobeys, and that I want to branch into other provinces. I want to have a salon in every single province
But
in
what's
South
happening
Africa.
this year
This
regarding
year,
Bobcat Hair Salon?
Bobcat's Hair Salon Durban, Bobcat's Hair Salon Bloemfontein, Bobcat's Hair Salon Cape Town, hopefully Bobcat's Hair Salon Botswana.
Okay, this is big, eh?
Yes.
And you mentioned earlier when we spoke, you said you've got 13 hair salons.
18 currently, yeah.
Yeah, Mogul in the making, if you
Thank
ask
you.
me. But thank you so much
It's an
for
absolute
this
pleasure.
time that you've given us.
Thank
Bobcats, the brand, we support you, my sister.
you. Thank you so
It's good
much.
to see an initiative like this. I mean, I told you, it oozes sophistication. I love your brand.
Thank you.
I cannot stop coming here.
Thank you.
So I hope you keep up the good work. And
Thank you.
from our viewers at home, it's Mapule. We out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.